All right, y'all. Tonight we're going to do The Exorcist. You see, now I'm thinking about me starting to yell when we done that Halloween episode, and now I'm laughing.
Okay, y'all.
Okay, guys.
God dang, man. Now I got to edit all this crap out. All right.
Gotta edit
Just
5
keep
seconds.
it.
It'll be all right.
All right, here we go. All right,
You
guys.
froze.
Yeah, as soon as you start talking, it froze. We had no idea what was going on.
It's probably because I was screaming so loud.
Okay, guys. It's The Exorcist III.
All right, y'all. Tonight we're going to do The Exorcist III. Now, it's a 1990 supernatural psychological horror film that was written for the screen and directed by William Peter Blatty. The film follows a character from the original film, Lieutenant William F. Kinderman, who investigates a series of demonic murders in Georgetown that have hallmarks of the Gemini, a deceased serial killer. Blatty based aspects of the Gemini killer on the real-life Zodiac killer, one of several serial killers that enjoyed The Exorcist. Did they enjoy The Exorcist?
Wow. Okay.
I
They
can
have a
done tell.
survey for that.
I
At a
can
prison?
already
I,
tell ChatGPT.
I think Corky's drunk on this episode.
Corky's got the bottle this time, Daniel.
Corky comes in sauce. Here we go.
Okay, what's everybody's initial thoughts of this movie?
You want me to break down the cast?
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah.
All right, guys. I've got
really strong start.
cast and box office numbers here. So
Yeah, go ahead.
Kay coming through. Kay
All
coming
right.
through.
Save me,
Yeah.
Kay. Please save me.
We'll organize this real quick. No, I'm just playing. This is great. I'd say the cast of this movie, one actor in particular, I'll talk about him in a second, did a great job. But I thought, sometimes the lieutenant, he was a little bit over the top at times, demanding, certain things from people. I can think of one instance in the movie, we'll probably get to it, when he's sitting at some table and he's wanting like some document, he just slams his hand on a table to this nurse.
Mhm.
But Lieutenant Kinderman here, he's played by George C. Scott. We also have the actual Gemini killer, who I think just did a great job in this movie. He's played by Brad Dourif, who, like Daniel mentioned before this, he was actually the voice of Chucky in Child's Play and also was in The Lord of the Rings. And then after this, we have Father Karras, played by Jason Miller, and obviously, as a big part of this movie, as a connection to The Exorcist, he was in the original Exorcist movie. There's a few more actors in here, not really worth mentioning in my opinion. They all did good, but I kind of want to get into some box office stuff here. So this movie supposedly had a budget of around 11 to 12 million. In the US, it made 26 million, and then worldwide it made 39. It had a great opening weekend, actually, with like $9 million when it opened. And I want to say it wasn't as big of a smash hit as like the original Exorcist. I don't have any numbers for that. But I want to say the original Exorcist did beat it in box office numbers. I'll have to get those numbers for you guys.
Cool. Audrey, did this thing have a Rotten Tomatoes score?
It did. It's pretty even between critics and the audience. So the critic score was 58% and the audience score was 57. As far as reviews on both sides, they were kind of mixed. Many appreciated the slow burn of the psychological horror, especially what'd you say his last name was? Dourif? Brad Dourif.
Yeah, Brad Dourif.
Yeah. But some felt it didn't live up to the legacy of The Exorcist. So not too bad, 58%, 57%.
We got to get those numbers up.
Yeah, no, but it definitely didn't live up to the legacy of The Exorcist because this wasn't a movie about exorcism.
Right, it was totally different.
Yeah, let's just get that out there right now. This movie was based off his book Legion, right, Daniel? Not Legend, Legion.
Legion.
But,
William Peter Blatty.
Yeah, so this movie, I don't think it was ever meant to be an exorcism movie, but I think they tried to play off that name a little bit and get a little extra money coming in. But what was everybody's initial thoughts of the movie real quick? What did you guys think about it before we get in?
So I want to hear from the ones who hadn't seen the movie before. So Cade and Audrey, I think you guys said that you hadn't seen the movie before. I want to hear what you guys had to say.
Audrey, you can go ahead.
I didn't know what to expect because I hadn't seen it before, and at first I was like, "Okay, this is boring." I
Same.
thought I was gonna fall asleep until you get to the cell, and then it starts kinda building up, and then you're like, "Okay, what's going on?" And there's these little creepy things that happen that aren't totally in your face, and almost if you blink, you'll miss them, that I think help really build up the suspense for the end, and I ended up liking it. I think Josh and I kinda came up with a theory last night
Yeah.
because it almost seemed like a fever dream throughout the whole movie.
I'd like to hear about this theory.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
What theory are we talking about?
So at first, we're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And so we're kind of talking about this detective, and it's almost like he's locked in his own mind fighting all this. So we're like, when that little boy was killed, did he finally
Yeah.
snap? And he's in the insane asylum, and he's trying to solve this case and working himself to death to figure all this out, and all this stuff is actually just happening in his mind.
I've
That's
never thought
crazy.
about that. That's interesting.
That'd be like something out of a Silent Hill game right there.
Well,
Yeah.
so there's a couple of things that you need to know going into the movie that you may or may not know. Lieutenant Kinderman is the cop that George C. Scott played. Lieutenant Kinderman was in the first Exorcist, and he was the one that was investigating a murder that occurred with the director of some kind of movie or whatever. And towards the end of the movie, him and Damian Karras, which was the guy that ended up being possessed in this movie, he was the young priest in the first movie. Kinderman and Karras were really good friends, and then you've got Father Dyer was also a younger priest that was in the first movie. All of those guys become really good friends, and they like hung out and everything. They were like super tight. After things go downhill and the Exorcist at the end of the Exorcist, you know, he jumps out the window and he kills himself and he's possessed and all this stuff. Like they assume that he's dead because they actually saw Damian Karras die. He was the one that fell down the steps. During the next 15 years, Kinderman and Father Dyer continue their friendship and they're like really close. So this movie centers around that, but it's been so long since anybody has seen The Exorcist. I think some of that got lost in translation. So it really helps if you know that backstory going into this.
Yeah, and I had forgotten about a lot of that. We probably should have watched the first
Yeah, probably
one
so. It's
before
been
watching this.
probably 15 years or better since I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, maybe we'll revisit that, one of these days, man, because it's always a good movie to talk about when it comes to horror movies. Because that, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Yeah.
is the number one horror movie of all time when it comes to actual scary movie. You know what I mean? It's The Exorcist Part
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
But all right, guys, the film opens with Lieutenant Kinderman, now played by George C. Scott, investigating a series of brutal murders in Washington, D.C. that eerily resemble the work of the long-dead Gemini killer. As the bodies pile up, the murders become increasingly ritualistic and disturbing, decapitations, religious symbolism, and chilling precision. Kinderman, a thoughtful and wary detective, begins to suspect something far more sinister than a copycat. His investigations lead him to a psych ward where he encounters a mysterious patient, played by Brad. What's how you say that last name? Dourif or whatever.
Brad Dourif.
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 Yes. Well, he seems to know far too much about the crimes and claims to be the Gemini killer himself. Despite having been executed years earlier, the tone is slow, unsettling, and builds dread through atmosphere rather than immediate horror. Now, it slow is an understatement for the first of this movie, man. This movie was God, it reminded me of something that was filmed like back in the early 70s. It was just absolutely
really did.
snooze fest at the first of it, because we were all
Now,
we
I've
were all
got my
talking in the
opinion
chat.
on how slow this movie is.
Yeah, it was awful. But we were all talking in the chat, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can make it through this thing or whatever. But it picks itself up later on in the movie. But the first part of
Once
the
you
movie
get
was
to the
definitely
interview,
hard to get
man.
through. Yeah, the interview's
Once
kind
you
of
get
where the
to the
movie's picked
interview,
up.
See, for me, I was hooked with this movie before the interview. Just the entire thing. As soon as it starts, I am I am ready to see what happens next. And it's not so much as it's obviously not action packed by any means, but the scenes, the way the scenes were set up and shot were so interesting, and the dialogue was really well written. But when you look at a movie, you have your extras that are in the background. Most of them are they can't sit still. They're drinking a cup of coffee or eating something. They're talking to people. This movie, almost every scene, there's people just standing there doing nothing.
Mhm.
And that's so interesting to me because you don't normally see that.
I didn't catch
And
up on
having
that.
a scene that still all the time, it's almost like the background was paused most of the time. And
Really?
so you're only focusing in on that dialogue. I just thought that was brilliant on how
it
everything was
throws you
shot.
off. It does. It
Yeah, it
throws
throws
you
you
off
off.
as a viewer.
And I
Yeah.
guess it's not as overstimulating. So, like you said, you're really focusing on what's happening in front of you. So when something does happen, it's jarring.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's new. Now you're gonna have to make me go back and watch this thing again to see that, man. I didn't key in on that. So, what was some of the memorable scenes that we want to discuss about this first part of the movie? Anything stand out to anybody or anything like that? I know the
Well, just like what Bryson was talking about, it's got great dialogue. And that goes back to Kinderman and Father Dyer. So Kinderman and Father Dyer are already really good friends. They're going to watch a movie together. It's something that they do like once a year on the anniversary of, Damien Karras's death or whatever. And both of them need that camaraderie, but both of them won't. Neither one of them will admit it.
right.
So, you've got Kinderman that's like, "Oh, yeah, I've got to go cheer up, Father Dyer."
Yeah.
And then Father Dyer's over there telling his buddies, "Oh, yeah, I've got to go cheer up Kinderman." Neither one of them will admit that both of them need that. You know what I mean? Because they were all three really, really close. Um, a lot of the dialogue, and certain things, of course, it gets into, after the boys club, little boy gets killed. Uh, you've got Kinderman that was already kind of friends with him. I guess maybe he had helped him out at certain point or whatever. Kind of affected him. You start getting into, now you've got a priest that gets killed, and all of these. Kinderman starts looking at it. It's not like overtly telling you what's going on, but Kinderman is always looking at their hand. Okay, so he goes and he inspects the left hand, then he inspects the right hand,
Which
then
I
he
didn't
kind of
catch that
nods,
until
and the whole time,
yeah, I researched
yeah.
that today, and
Well,
because it doesn't tell you that in the movie, that he's
no, it
investigating.
doesn't, and it does that on purpose until finally, after they're 2 or 3 victims in, even Father Dyer at that point has been murdered. Kinderman finally comes out and he's like, "Okay, look, this fits the same MO as the Gemini killer." And everybody's going, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, because the Gemini killer was executed 15 years ago. And so he was like, "No, no, no, no. The symbol on the left hand, you got this other thing that's happening on the right hand. You've got this other carving of the Gemini somewhere else." He said, "All of that stuff, we told the public one thing
Yeah.
to keep all the crazies from calling us. But what it was this." And he said, "Everything that's happening is this, and it's exactly the same as the Gemini killer, and it's really throwing him off." So all through this, yeah, I get what you're saying, Corky, with you thinking it kind of runs like a crime drama or whatever.
Mhm.
But Kinderman, the whole time, he's looking and he's investigating, and you kind of see him nod.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, and see, that's what I was
in a
saying.
couple
I
of
didn't
scenes,
know
he's
that
kind of nodding.
as I was watching it, because when we decided to watch this movie, I just remember a few scenes that I used to watch back when I was younger, and I thought, "Oh, that movie, that was awesome." And I don't know if you guys seen the jump scare scene that everybody talks about with this movie, but
Yeah.
I can remember watching that scene and like going like, "Oh my god!" But when I thought about doing The Exorcist III, it's stuff like that I thought about. I never realized that the last time I watched this movie, I was probably 11 years old, and I never really paid any attention to the story. So that's why,
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
reasons I love this podcast, we revisit a lot of these movies, and in my head, I think they suck or I think they're awesome, and then you go back and watch them with adult eyes, and you get a different experience, and I got that with this movie
Yeah, you
because
get a totally different
because
experience.
I
Totally
was
different
ranting
take.
and raving. I was like, "This movie sucks," and you guys all seen that. And then when it gets to the interview part of the movie, then you started seeing me. Well, now wait a minute. Now this is getting pretty deep. Now. And
Mhm.
and the visuals on this movie remind me a lot of Suspiria. The way they use lighting and colors and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
so still,
Yeah, going back to Daniel's point that he made earlier about how this was my first time watching this movie, and so like my connection with just The Exorcist in general kind of set me up to already be a little bit creeped out with this because I was probably about I was 6, 7, or 8 years old. I begged my parents to let me watch The Exorcist for the first time. Like I had to watch. Some kid at school told me about it, and I can remember actually crying in that movie,
really,
and like yeah, I was legitimately terrified of that movie to the point where my friends knew about it. They somehow found out, and like they would actually get the still image of her face and randomly show it to me, and like I
That's
would
something me and my friends would do.
Yeah,
and
no
it
doubt.
would legitimately like give me like fear, like legit, just something about it scarred me. And I think it's like ties to like more religious stuff in like the horror films as opposed to like a slasher. That's always scared me more than anything. So I really kind of liked after I finished the movie how the movie did have this long build up to make it seem like it was more of like a drama to show like because Kinderman in the movie he wasn't a religious guy. He thought that it was all a bunch of like mumbo jumbo,
Right.
right? So
Right.
you've got that side of it, and then of course when we get to the interview, like it's nuts. But the scene that really got me, like it took me back to when I was a kid was whenever the priest was what was it? It's what's it called, like a confession or something like that in that Catholic church. And that old lady starts talking about how she murdered somebody in the
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
Dude, that just creeped me out, man. That it seriously
I
was kind of
think
I
scary.
mean, it's a
I think
good
that got
scene.
me. Yeah, I think that got me more than any of the other scenes because you're just picturing this little old lady going in there at first, and then that voice comes over, and it's like,
Yes.
okay,
I can't
whoa.
the voice, it like, in the original Exorcist, when her voice changes, I get, like,
Yeah.
chills, and
Mhm.
I had that moment in this
Yeah.
movie,
Mhm.
and I was this was the one time I was like, really, I was like, "Olivia, please come watch this movie with me." I was like,
No, I mean,
I don't do well with these kind of movies, I don't know, like, it really freaks me out.
that's a really heavy scene. I wrote an entire short story based on that one scene.
What?
Wow.
Do you
Yes,
have it?
yes,
Like,
it's
could you send it? So I
yeah,
could,
I can
like
send it. I can
I
send
would
it to
love to
you.
read it.
Yeah, I can send it to you. Yeah.
There was another scene in the beginning of this movie that freaked me out, and it's pretty short. It's right at the beginning, really. But when the church doors just fly open and all that debris is flying into the church,
Yeah.
and the statue of Jesus opens his eyes, I don't know.
Yeah.
That one gets me,
Yeah,
and I
those
think
kinda
it's because
images
no
freak me
one's there.
out.
No one's
Yeah.
there. No one sees
Any
this.
kind of religious theme like that, it's just creepy to me.
Especially
Yeah.
It
Catholic
just makes it.
churches, man.
Yeah.
The Catholic churches, they kind of creep me out. Not that
They
they're
got the
scary.
statues
It's
up.
just, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, they already have that whole
yeah,
tone of the building,
that's what I'm
but in
saying.
a
Yeah,
horror movie, you've always got somebody in a scary scene that's going to react,
right.
whether it's the guy showing up with the axe or whatever. But this one, it's just an empty church. There's not even
Yeah.
anybody around, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's what made it more eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
It's
doubt.
like what happens when we're not there?
Yeah.
Like
And another thing,
Right.
I want to ask you, man, is because I know churches around here are not like that, but in these big cities, can you just walk up in a church any time of day and just hang out, or are they always
pretty
open, or
sure.
Yeah,
something like
pretty
that?
much. I'm pretty sure because they have what's it called? Oh, what's it called? When you're safe there.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Um,
What is that? It's like a refuge almost.
yeah,
It's
like
called
your
something else.
refuge, yeah, where you're safe there. So they're open 24 hours a day where you can just walk in
Oh.
and do what you need to do.
I know churches
Okay.
around here, they'd be locking them doors, boy. They don't want you in
Yeah,
there.
man.
Well, some
They
of them
locked
do
up
around
tight.
here, but like the big churches like that, they're
Yeah.
pretty much
Everybody
open.
except for Joel Osteen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
shut it down when there's a flood.
Yeah, he don't want you in there, man.
Mm-mm.
Well, Daniel, is there anything else we need to go over as far as the first part of the movie? You seem to know this movie a little bit better than me, so I'm going to let you keep us on track tonight.
Well, I mean, as far as you've got a murder that happens with the kid, and then you got another murder that happens with a priest that we just talked about
Mhm.
in the confessional.
Oh
At this
yeah,
point,
that was a
at this
weird
point,
thing.
Kinderman, he's starting to put things together. And then Father Dyer ends up having to go to the hospital. I think maybe he had some kind of like heart something that happened or whatever. So he's in the hospital at this point, kind of just recuperating. And from that point, that's when the movie really it doesn't really leave the hospital after that.
Right.
So you're in this hospital. It's got a psych ward that's kind of connected to it. And so yeah, he goes and he visits, Father Dyer. They kind of have this conversation,
And he
and then
smokes in
he
the
ends up having
hospital.
this like fever dream. Yeah,
Yeah.
he smokes in
Yeah.
the hospital,
Yeah.
as
doctor smoked
does the head like administrator.
Doctor or whatever. Yeah.
Mercy.
Yeah.
Everybody
But
was.
yeah,
Yeah.
like everybody. It's 1990. Everybody smoked back then.
What
But
about that purgatory scene, guys?
That
well,
was
that's
y'all
what I
think
was
weird.
gonna
about that?
say. Like, so
Patrick Ewing as a
Kinderman has
death
a
angel.
dream,
What's up with it?
and
Yeah, was that
yeah,
Yeah, that was
Patrick
wild.
Ewing? I thought it was, dude.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he has this dream, and some really creepy stuff is going on. And so in the dream, Kinderman, because he is such a like logical person to begin with, like he doesn't believe anything, he's very, very realistic, very, very logical. He's walking through this dream and he's looking at all this stuff and he's recognizing this and that. The kid from the boys club walks up to him and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry that you were murdered,"
Yeah, with his
and
head
you're
stitched back
watching that
on.
as a viewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're watching that as a viewer going, "What?" And so he walks up and talks to Father Dyer, which has the stitching
Yeah.
around his neck. And he talks to Father Dyer and he was like, "Yeah, man, this is a cool dream. Can you reckon that me and you are both having this dream at the same time?"
Mhm.
And Father Dyer says, "No, you're the only one that's dreaming," which
Mhm.
is saying I've already been killed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
was
what I
that the
mean?
symbolism
And
of the
then
And he was
stitching around the
stitched
neck?
too, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. So he Father Dyer already had the stitching around his neck, so he had already been killed in the dream,
Yeah, that was some
which
really
is
foreshadowing.
the whole reason why Kinderman was even dreaming, was because he saw his buddy. And so then he gets the phone call. They say that he's been killed, so he goes down to the hospital, and Kinderman sees Father Dyer, and Father Dyer, his entire blood supply has been drained out and put into these cups. And so that's something else that the Gemini killer was almost kind of laughing about whenever he had the interview with him. But that's kind of where the movie is. So the movie kind of starts out kind of real broad, and then it starts to get more and more narrow until now you're almost stuck in this hospital. And Kinderman is got the hospital on lockdown. He's having everybody monitored. You know, that's how he found out about the elderly people, because he starts seeing these people's fingerprints come up. The hospital staff, actually, it wasn't hospital staff. It was uh, kind of like Kinderman's boss had a big problem with him fingerprinting all those people. But Kinderman was like, "I don't care. I'm going to fingerprint them anyway."
Mhm.
And so that's how he found that these old people were involved And that happens right before the interview.
Well,
Do you guys think that like in that interview, like when they're like Kinderman's speaking with like the Gemini killer, clearly the Gemini killer there is like changing his voice. I think even at certain points his face changes. Do you
It's
think
Yes.
that's
for
something that was meant
actors.
only for the audience, or do you think that like Kinderman actually saw that and just didn't care? Because you would think like as soon as you see that, like it's clear this is a demon.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
The
it's
face
both.
change is for us, but the voice change is he's probably hearing the voice change too.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's both, Cade, because as the audience, if you're sitting there, the very first person whenever he goes into the cell, that's Jason Miller. That's the actual guy from the original Exorcist that did the exorcism with Reagan. So he's actually having a conversation with Jason Miller, and it's in Jason Miller's voice. And then all of a sudden, whenever he tells him that he's the Gemini killer, it turns into Brad Dourif. And that's for the audience to say, oh, okay, the Gemini killer has actually supplanted Karras here, and he's talking to the Gemini killer. But it's interesting that you say that, Cade, because if Kinderman would have had the faith that he needed, then he probably would have seen the Gemini killer and
Yeah.
seen Brad Dourif, and not, because the whole time he still thinks he's talking to Damian Karras.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, let me read this little paragraph right here, and we'll get into that interview scene because that's one of the main scenes of this
Oh, yeah.
movie. So,
Yeah.
as Kinderman digs deeper, the film shifts into a full psychological terror. His conversations with the patient become the centerpiece. Long, intense monologues that blur the line between madness and possession. The patient reveals chilling details about how he continues to kill by inhabiting other bodies, suggesting demonic influence and linking back to the events of the original exorcism. Meanwhile, the hospital becomes a setting of pure dread, culminating in one of horror's most infamous jump scares, the nurse station scene. And that's what we'll talk about here in a minute, is that nurse station scene. Kinderman begins to connect the dots. Father Karras, presumed dead, may somehow be involved. The horror escalates not through gore, but through existential dread and the idea that evil can infiltrate anyone. So, Audrey, I know this was your first time watching the movie, and, we agreed that it was kind of like a slow burn up until this point, but what did you think when you started watching that interview scene? When they're sitting in that cell, you got the two beams of light coming in. You were Josh, which one, what did you guys think? Because I know that was a turning point in the movie for me, was that scene.
It was for me too. And I even pointed out to Audrey, we were just talking about the lighting and the way that they did certain things. And in that interview scene, each one of them have their own light. And then I guess that was
brain graph.
The brain graph or whatever had its own light as well, foreshadowing what was up to come, I assume. So that scene to me was extremely iconic. I mean, it was that's when it really turned for me. Like before that, it was just like, this movie's kind of bland. It doesn't have a whole lot going on. And then at that point, everything started clicking.
And the way they did switch the voices and the faces, because the first time you see the voice or the face change, you're like, wait a minute, is that the same guy? And then it takes like one or two times to happen before you realize, oh no, that's somebody else. That is a whole nother person. So
yeah, that was an awesome scene.
Yeah, it definitely was, man. And I know the parts. Who was the original guy, Daniel, that was in part one? What was his name?
His name was Jason Miller.
All right.
And if anybody that loves the Lost Boys like me, the main guy is Jason Patrick.
Yeah.
Jason Patrick plays Michael. Jason Miller is that guy's dad.
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jason Miller was also in the movie Rudy. He was the football coach.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. I got that on here too.
Well, a fun little tidbit about this scene is, for the guy that's not Jason Miller, I guess he would be the Zodiac
Brad Dourif,
or the Gemini killer. All his
Brad
scenes that were shot there were actually reshoots in this movie. So, but the
Really?
scenes that you see him sitting there talking, they were filmed after the movie had already wrapped, and then they come back and put all that because I think the guy,
I think it was a scheduling conflict. He
yeah,
had something else he was filming.
yeah, there was a lot of messed up stuff around that stuff didn't work out, and there was even stuff in between the actors. But yeah, none of that stuff was filmed in chronological order there. You know, he had filmed those
Yeah.
scenes already before, and he even and I think his acting there because you could see the water in his eyes and the sweat,
Yeah.
and it was just phenomenal acting in that. And he even says because he'd done the scenes before, then they scrapped them for some reason, whatever happened, and then they had to come back. So those scenes were reshot, and he said that he didn't do as good a job as the second time as he did the first time that we never got to see.
Oh, I bet the
Mhm.
first
Man.
few
Yeah.
yeah, I would love to see the
I was like,
because he was intimidating when he stares into the camera,
yeah,
like, it's a
Yeah.
it's a eerie feeling. I was
I've
very uncomfortable watching him do his dialogue.
I am a Brad Dourif fan, and I'm also a George C. Scott fan. But with as good as what George C. Scott was, Brad Dourif makes this movie.
yeah,
He's the one that really does it for this movie.
yeah.
And you have to have somebody doing that role
Mhm.
very well because everything that that character says is what makes this movie is what makes the second half of this movie because he's telling him everything,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's doing it in a cryptid way. So you've got to pay attention to what he's saying. So if they wouldn't have had somebody deliver that scene as well as he did, I think the rest of the movie would have been muddied, and I don't think it would have clicked as well for people.
Right.
Well, like I
Yeah, I
said, it
agree
was definitely that movie was a turning point, or that scene was a turning point in the movie. So that's definitely a
100%, yeah.
pivotal scene. So
Yep.
after that, let's get into this phenomenal jump scare they put in there. Does everybody here know what I'm talking about? So what I can remember the first time I seen it, like I was probably 11 years old.
Can too.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching this and I see that whatever that is come out of that room with that big freaking cheers and go after that nurse just made me come up off the couch, man. But for you guys this is your first time seeing it, well, how did you guys react to it? Probably what didn't get my same reaction, but so
Well,
what you
I was expecting because you had said, there's a scary part, and from the group chat, I knew it was coming, and so I thought it was when the doctor was in bed and screamed at that girl. I thought that was
yeah, that was pretty
the
creepy too. Yeah.
and so I was like, "Oh, okay, it's over." And then that thing shot across, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that sucker. Try being 11 years old and sitting up at the
Well,
house by yourself. While I was watching The
because
Exorcist Part 3, I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that was scary.
bro, my mom bought my ticket because
Yeah, this is
I wasn't even old enough to get in to the theater. I was 11 years old. I went to the Plaza Twin in Athens on a Sunday matinee. I'm there by myself. I'm 11. I have no idea why. Yeah, I mean, that was just how my people rolled. So I can watch any scary movie, whatever. I'm in there and I'm watching this movie and I'm going along okay, right?
yeah,
And then that scene happens, and I'm the only person in this dark theater.
no way.
And all of a sudden, you got this
Terrifying.
that happens, and I was like,
No.
Yeah, I was the same as, Audrey there
traumatized child.
because for me, it was the guy that, like, rose up out of his bed screaming at the nurse that made me jump.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you guys were talking about too, because that was super loud and up
Well,
your face.
that's in there on purpose to throw you off. So now you're like, oh yeah,
Your
oh jump
anxiety's
scare.
up. Yeah, and your
And so
anxiety.
then nurses going in, and if you'll remember, that was room 411. That was
Mhm.
where Father Dyer was at. That
Yeah,
was where Father Dyer got killed, that same room.
and what
Yep.
was
So
with
she
the
goes in
ice?
there. Oh, yeah, that was just because it was supposed to be the scratching sound, the ice is melting and all that.
That's some loud
So she
ice,
goes in
man.
there.
Dang.
Yeah, it was. So then she gets the jump scare, whatever, cool. And so the audience lets their guard down. And she
Yeah.
goes into Father Dyer's room. Nobody's there. She turns around, walks, and then all of a sudden you got the big whatever those shears are. And I mean, it was just like, boom, in your face right there.
Mhm.
And
Perfect. It
and
was perfect.
and a little tidbit: those shears are because all those medical instruments were laying out there. Those are not an actual medical instrument. Those were created specifically for the movie. So
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
and now you guys are schooled on medical instruments from me.
Now
I'll
you
say
know.
that. All right. So Daniel, let's get into trivia. I know you said you had some
Okay.
epic trivia
All right.
tonight. Now, this is going to be a
I'm
hard
getting
one.
my-
I don't
I'm
know
getting
how
my
well I'm
notes
going to do
out.
tonight.
Yeah, let me
I've
get
got
some
notes.
notes.
I've got notes on my phone. Okay, I just want to let you know I do have notes.
Cade
I'm not looking
already
this up.
saying he gonna cheat. He cheating.
Yeah.
Because last
All right.
week I got made fun of.
And by notes, he
answering.
means Google. That's what he means by notes.
I just want to say I did terrible last week in trivia, and I was embarrassed by my performance.
Well,
It happens to everybody. Don't worry.
we're gonna go ahead and start this thing off, and we're gonna start off with question number 1. What movie did Kinderman and Father Dyer go see?
Corky,
Archie.
Bryson.
I heard Corky.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. You are correct, sir. Give me the
Ding,
point.
ding, baby. Rack it up.
All right, here we go. Question number 2.
I need to get my sound.
What kind of fish was in Kinderman's
Corky.
bathtub?
Cade,
Audrey.
I heard Cade first.
is it a car?
It is a carp. Did you have to think about that? You
Yeah,
bring
man.
it
Well,
in.
man,
you
I've
don't
lost,
even know?
I've lost all
He just
confidence.
runs in and then tries to think about it, man.
I lost all confidence in my
See how
ability.
he's looking down at his phone? He's got the voice thing and it's typing it in as you ask it.
No,
Man.
I promise. These are notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd
But
have a
yeah,
He's
screenshot
got
of them
more
notes
than
pulled
I've
up
got
too.
Trivia.
Sorry,
Man,
who got the first question right?
Okay.
I was
All right,
focused.
This
so
guy did.
Corky got the,
Yeah.
Corky got the first
Okay.
point. Cade was second point.
Okay.
Question number 3. What stuffed animal did Kinderman bring
Corky.
Father Dyer?
Cade,
Bryson.
Oh man,
Dang, it's
Corky
so
and
late.
Cade at the exact same time.
First
Corky
off,
and Cade at the exact same
I got
time.
it because Cade was totally behind me. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. He had a
All right.
penguin.
He did have a penguin.
Yes, he
sir.
did.
when did Corky
You are
just start
correct.
studying? And
Because, man,
I think Corky's got the AI chatbot.
look,
pulled
my
up.
phone ain't even turned on, bruh. Oh,
I know you got that extra
Man.
monitor.
All
and,
right.
and this
so
is show notes, bro.
Look at that. Chat
Bryson,
GPT.
Audrey, and Josh, where you guys at?
Who said
Oh,
that's
No,
where they're at?
Audrey's probably got every
Every
question.
answer, but I've been so slow on reacting.
Because you gotta
I don't know why.
anticipate.
Dude, you
That's
gotta
like
think,
when
Daniel.
I play. The one time that I get to play trivia, if Corky has a question, I forget to ring in. I'm like, oh, I know that. Oh,
She's sending a signal from Texas.
Yeah, I was
It's
gonna
already
say
been
ours
fair.
has to travel all the way up there, so it takes.
Okay,
okay,
gotta-
all right. So
don't
we're
worry.
sending-
The new trivia game will be. I will get it this weekend. We'll get something.
Yeah,
figured out.
we need to work it out because the smoke signals is putting them behind.
Especially if Corky's starting to win. This is
Golly.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired! Okay. We're
See
going
how
on
it is.
question
See how it
number
is.
4. Question number 4. Here we go. What was Father Dyer's hospital room number?
Audrey,
Bryson.
Audrey, I heard Audrey first.
411.
411.
We
Dang
literally,
it,
we
man.
literally
You
just went
serious?
over that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, question number, I think this is 5. Question
This
number
is
5. Who was the killer?
Cade,
Cade,
the Gemini.
the Gemini killer.
I'm unsure of
Number 5.
everything I say.
I was going to think way too hard about that. I was like, what was the name of the demon from the
Bro,
first
I
movie?
can't answer a question without being afraid of being wrong. man.
Cade, my body, your
Continue.
brain.
Yeah, I swear, dude, that's what he said.
Bro, you have got to post that. My body, your brain. It sounds like a drink milk commercial.
God, I'm losing it tonight.
God. Okay. Here we go. Now I'll go ahead and give you a hint for this one. This is a 3-part question.
Dang.
Gosh.
I will expect nothing less than 3
Dang.
parts to this question.
Wow.
What is the Gemini's real MO?
What does
Bryson.
MO mean?
I heard Bryson.
He cut the index finger off and he carved the Gemini zodiac symbol into the palm.
Okay, so you've got 2 half right.
Okay, there's a third
Got
one.
one?
Oh, everybody's name starts with a K.
That's okay. That's one. So you said that the Gemini carved it into the palm of the hand. What palm did he carve? Which one?
Am
The
I
left
eligible?
hand.
Left hand. And the missing finger is which finger and which hand?
The right hand.
Okay, and which finger?
The index finger.
Okay.
What
Bryson
is
with
this
it.
question?
Dang,
Oh,
man.
This
Man,
question.
dude, that was serious. That was a whole monologue.
Should he
by
get 3
Kinderman.
points
I need
for
3
that?
points.
That's three questions.
You want to hook
technically.
him up
Catch
with
me up.
You want to hook him up with 3?
I think we give him 3 to make it interesting.
Audrey, do you feel like he needs 3 points out of this?
Pretty
Yeah, that
tough.
was-
I
that was
say
pretty
3
tough.
points.
All right. Give him
That's
the
a splash
3.
from downtown, Bryson. That's from downtown.
That's a slam dunk, baby.
I say
right
he
there.
don't get 3. I say he
Nope.
gets 1. That's bullcrap.
Look at this.
Corky's got 2 points.
Corky, like, that question BS, man. He needs to have point. All right. Here we go. So, question number, I think this is 7. Question number 7. What was Father Dyer's middle name?
Bryson.
3.
Bryson.
Was it Kyle?
No,
No,
it was not
Cade.
Kyle. Cade. I got you, Cade.
Okay. Kevin.
Kevin is right. Did you have to think about that? Really?
That's his
Oh,
man.
hamster's got to get going.
Man. Okay. All right.
Kevin.
Question number 8. Here we go. What is the Gemini killer's real name?
What did he say?
Shit.
The Gemini killer's real name.
Oh, hell.
Like in real life? No, that was
Dude, what? No.
Cade.
Oh.
I just got
Okay.
off my notes. Where'd it go?
Cade. Carl.
Coral?
Oh.
Right next to Kyle.
Carl with a K.
That should,
Coral.
that should be the name.
Those
That should
are
be the name
humans.
of.
Those are people, Carl.
Hey, if
can't
you're about
eat
to get
people.
murdered by somebody named Carl, I mean, what are you doing with your life?
Man, no.
Okay,
Okay.
I actually have no idea.
Just nobody heard him.
nobody
Remember.
got that.
It was during an interview. The Gemini killer's real name is James Veneman. They actually showed a picture of his mugshot also.
That sounds
Well,
like
that's right.
That said
that sounds
James
like a
Veneman.
Marvel hero, man, or Marvel
Pretty
villain.
similar to Carl.
Well, he is the Gemini killer in this movie.
Oh,
So
James Veneman. Yeah.
okay, all right. So I think we're on to question number 9.
Yes,
at this
sir.
point,
That's
I think.
right.
He only says this once, so you better have been paying attention. How old did the Gemini killer say he was when he died?
Corky.
Bryson.
No idea.
Bryson. I heard Bryson first.
Dios.
I'm just going to
Bryson.
say 29.
You are wrong, sir.
He
Yeah.
said how old he was.
What about 35?
You are even more wrong, sir.
No, I'm not.
You are too, boy. What?
Cade.
Cade.
22.
No, you're wrong, sir. Audrey and Josh, you are the last hope. What we got?
What are you guessing?
31.
24.
God, right.
He said in Brad Dourif's regular voice, I was only 21 when I died.
Dang. I was really.
Dang.
Now, we are still on the Gemini killer. Question number 11. How was the Gemini killer executed?
Cade.
I heard Cade first.
Electric chair.
The electric chair is correct, sir. Get it. Okay.
Is that it?
Last question. No,
Last
no,
question.
this is the last question.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this. Let me let you know the
Oh,
scores.
wait. It's next to last. We got 2 questions left. I'm sorry. I need to scroll down more.
So currently, Bryson has 3 points. Corky has 2.
Dang
I
it.
have 4, and Audrey has 1.
Okay.
Man,
Let's do it.
I started off so strong.
It's still anybody's game. It's still anybody's game. Here we go.
We was all doing good. You gave Bryson that triple decker there he got.
Hey, man, that was a hard
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
question.
did it.
Hard question.
I
that
did
was
it.
a hard question. Okay.
Protest.
What did the old woman say was strange about her radio?
Bryson.
Corky.
Audrey.
Bryson.
She heard dead people talking through it.
Boom. Give him another point.
Boom.
I think Bryson. Let's see. Did Bryson tie
tied.
Cade?
We're
Yeah,
tied.
me
tied,
too.
Cade.
Tied.
All right, here we go. This is the last question. What town and year was the movie set in?
Corky.
Corky, go.
Georgetown.
Georgetown, what year?
I don't know. 1974. I don't know.
Well, no, it's 15.
No.
1975.
Oh yeah.
No. When did you people think
Not-
The Exorcist 1 happened?
1989,
You're close, but no.
1990.
You just gonna keep guessing?
First off,
Is that what
no,
they call it?
first off,
I know
nobody here
it's-
knew it was Georgetown but me, so I should at least get 5 points
It's
for that.
15 years.
Look,
It's
you
15
get,
years
you get
after.
a half a point because
That guy died in 1975.
90.
It was 15 years later.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
that.
It's 80.
89.
89.
1990. It was.
Well, that's when the
1990.
movie came out, man. That's what threw me off because
Dude, it showed it on the screen when it first
Man.
come on.
That's-
It said Georgetown 1990,
oh,
and it had those dudes. It had those dudes in the rowboat.
Well, here's
were
my thinking though,
known for-
because
Georgetown.
there's no way the date of the movie went down when the date of the movie when it was made. That you know,
Why?
because the movie was made, it had to be like 89 or something like that.
All right, look here. If you look at it realistically, I get what the movie was trying to do. If you look at it realistically, The Exorcist come out in 1973.
Right.
All right, so you're just dealing with 1 year off, right? 1 or 2 years difference here.
Well, then, but we're dealing with 1 or 2 points, see, and that's the problem.
Come on, man, you were going to lose anyway.
No, man. There's always a chance.
You were like 18,000 points behind or something.
Is there a tiebreaker question for Bryson and myself?
Are we still tied?
Oh,
Yeah,
I got one.
we're
I got one. I'll do
Corky
it. I'll do
coming
a
in with the
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker. All right, do the
All right.
tiebreaker.
From earlier, said fish that we talked about. What was said fish doing and where was he at?
Okay.
Bryson.
Cade.
See, I knew that again, and I couldn't say
He
my
was,
name.
well, the fish was in his bathtub,
Yes.
swimming back and forth.
Yes, that is correct, sir.
And why did Kinderman have to come home late?
Because
he
his
did-
mother-in-law.
Yeah, he didn't want to hear the fish, or he's gonna kill it.
Because the fish, he needed to wait until the fish was asleep, or else he would kill it.
And he
I've got a bonus question.
on,
I just want to see if
Bonus
anybody
clip.
saw this,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
because I bet Audrey took this like note down.
She probably did.
How many times has Kinderman seen "It's a Wonderful Life"?
well, I don't even know that.
Oh, I didn't take that
Ooh.
one
Is that
down.
either?
I think he said, what was it, 50 something?
That
It was-
horrible.
It was 37 times.
37 times.
Imagine
Yeah.
not being able to get that much time of your life back watching a movie like
Yeah,
that.
it's a great
Bro,
movie.
It's a
Come on.
Wonderful Life.
Dude.
It's awesome, dude. I watch
Dude,
it every
I would
year.
rather watch the movie Civil War than to watch this.
Oh, that's
Wonderful
Corky's
Life.
favorite movie.
I've got a bonus
Wait.
question. for you.
All
What
right,
you got?
bonus question. Let's hear it, Josh.
What movie was referenced during a conversation?
Audrey.
I know
Fly.
that.
Nope.
Oh,
Oh.
the
Wait a
fly
minute,
was
wait a minute.
the
During-
fly was
during-
referenced though, right?
Mhm.
Wait,
It
during what
was.
conversation?
Yeah, okay.
During what conversation?
So, as I think it was Father Dyer, maybe, as he was leaving, he said something to someone, and it referenced a movie, but it didn't actually say the movie.
Got
it
you,
just said the
Corky.
quote.
Corky.
Oh, I think
Corky. Spaceballs.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
May
Yeah.
the Schwartz
He said
Yeah, he
Spaceballs.
says,
with
may the
you.
Schwartz be with you.
Oh, he did.
Go in peace, my child.
He
May-
said,
I did
"May
not
it
catch
with
that,
you.
dude.
May
they
the Schwartz be
also,
with you."
speaking of Chucky, I can't remember what part of it was, but he said, or maybe it was the nurse said it's all child's play. And I wonder,
I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
about that.
yeah.
That's a good
That's
bunch of
cool
that
because
is
like
cool.
Chucky had
Yeah,
came
yeah.
out before that happening. Yeah.
Mhm.
Chucky come out in 1988. This come
Yep.
out in 1990.
I did not catch that. That's a good catch. Good catch.
That's it. That is a good catch. I like that.
All right. Who won?
Good deal.
The Bryson over here.
Hey,
That would
nah,
be me
Kate,
this
Kate
week.
took that
won?
one.
Did Kate
Yeah.
come back? Oh, beat the professor.
Well,
To be
Hey,
fair, I literally think Bryson knew every single question that got asked. I think his connection was slower than mine.
I think it's my connection tonight. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
I
that's
can't
my
ever
excuse
remember
too,
Bryson.
Bryson. You know.
I cannot remember how to ring in. I'm like, wait a minute, how do you ring in? And then somebody's already rang in. And I'm like, Daniel.
And that was me tonight. I'm over here like saying the answer in my head instead
Yeah.
of like saying my name.
Well, all right, guys.
Good
we'll,
deal.
We'll go ahead and we'll let Cade win this one. You know, the Google champion, Cade. You know,
That's right, baby.
Well, you know it's not ChatGPT.
Yeah, that
It's either
thing's wrong.
First off, let me
Yeah,
just
like-
say this: ChatGPT sucks, and
Corky's.
that is all.
I promise.
And
He,
when it comes
he
to movie
stabbed
knowledge-
the guy with the barrel of the rifle.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't
God.
know how.
Yeah.
Could it
Right
get
in the
any
slip.
worse than that? And then to realize it as
You
you're
sitting there
saying
on-
it on
and
the
then double
podcast.
down, and then double down on it. It's like, no.
You're sitting
Dude,
there
that was
on the
so
show
great.
saying this, and
Yeah.
somebody goes, "No, man, I think you're wrong."
I don't think.
I
I don't
looked
think that's
this
what
up on GPT.
Well, I mean, that stuff's is smarter than human. It's supposed to be right. I was like, man, I got to
They
stand
don't know.
behind.
They don't know jack crap
You
about
know,
movies.
Chat
apparently.
GPT sucks. My daughter uses Chat GPT to do her nursing studies. And I told her, I
Yeah.
said, you better be freaking rechecking that because it's hung me out to dry twice on the podcast. You know?
It works well. I think that movie is just like obscure enough where it was like it didn't know.
It's no excuse, Cade.
That's his weak spot. Movies is it gets it.
All right. Well, Daniel,
Yeah.
break down the ending of the movie for us, man. Let's get into it.
All right. Well, okay. We've already got up to the point to where Kinderman hears his buddy Damien Karras's voice, which draws him to the cell. So he has this big long like conversation, and that's where, you know, the Gemini killer comes out. He's trying to tell him that he's a Gemini killer, and Kinderman won't believe it. And so then he says something to him, and he was like, "Oh, you have just made an open invitation to the dance." And so Kinderman's like, "What are you talking about?" And so he was like, "Never mind." Well, that was foreshadowing that now he's going to go after Kinderman's daughter. And so after a couple of things happen, you've already got the jump scare scene and everything that happens. He mentions that he has old friends. Now, Kinderman at this point is thinking about, you know, this whole time he's been talking about basically being in hell. And he's talking about like the evil kind of the bad people. And so he references the master several times, which in my opinion, I think he's really talking about Legion. He's not necessarily talking about the devil himself. I'm not real sure
I think
if
he's
I'm
talking
correct.
about Satan, son. That's who I think he's talking
Well,
about.
it could
That's
be.
what
I
I
don't
thought.
know. Could
Yeah.
be. Could be. But he's talking about, you know, all these old friends. And so Kinderman is kind of thinking that he's still referencing all of this hellish stuff. But really what he's doing is telling Kinderman, I'm possessing these catatonic old people, and I'm getting them to do these murders for me. And so eventually Kinderman figures this out whenever he goes back to his house, and he's got this patient in his kitchen, and the patient turns around, talks to him, and he says, I was waiting for you, Lieutenant. And then he takes the shears and tries to kill Kinderman's daughter. So now Kinderman's kind of pieced all this stuff together. And the Gemini killer is still in possession of the old woman, and he attacks Kinderman, and he's got this superhuman strength at this point. So Kinderman is not able to overpower the old woman. And that's when like the side character priest kind of comes in. And so he
Out of
walks in and
nowhere.
he starts, So he comes in and he starts the exorcism, which kind of boots out the Gemini killer, and it saves Kinderman. And so now the exorcism kind of starts, and they have a back and forth, a little bit of conversation, gives Kinderman time to make it back to the cell where the Gemini killer is being held. And during that time, I think the Gemini killer, or else I'm guessing the devil or Legion or whoever it is, kind of gets the upper hand on the priest. He burns the Bible, throws the priest up on the ceiling, sticks him there, rips his skin off, this and that. The priest is almost dead. Kinderman comes in, and so he does kind of the same thing to Kinderman. He was like, now do you believe this and that? He throws him up on the wall. He's kind of hung there on the wall. And then Damien Karras, that's when the floor opens up. Damien Karras comes up. He can actually see him. And he's like, now do you believe me? And he was like, yes, I believe you. The priest comes back in, holds up the cross, tells Damien, which is the priest that's being possessed, fight him. So now Damien starts fighting him from the inside, drops Kinderman. Damien finally gets the upper hand, and then he begs Kinderman to shoot him. Kinderman shoots him, and he dies. And basically, that's how they end that particular possession. So I mean, I said a mouthful in a very short amount of time, but that's kind of the overall gist of what happens. What is everybody's overall opinion of how the movie ended? That's what I want to. Go ahead, Bryson.
When the shears were about to get his daughter and she got pulled in the nick of time, that was crazy looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked
was
really
some
weird.
sick CGI right there.
man.
That was some 1990s CGI where her
That
neck,
was
like
crazy looking.
her neck kind of looks like a cartoon.
It looked
I
like
want to
a
see
noodle.
it frame by frame because her neck
Yeah.
had to have been that long.
Man, her neck looked like a cartoon. It
Yeah.
did.
And then the priest stuck on the ceiling. I thought that was really interesting because most of the time it's just like the demonic force keeping you there. But then when he is trying to get off the ceiling, is actually peeling his skin. So I thought
Yeah.
that was really interesting and some pretty cool special effects.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
I saw what they were trying to do.
The
I
spikes in the
remembered
eyes
from
got me,
I remember from earlier
Yeah.
in the movie where he said he had the ingots in the eyes. They had
Yeah.
the head of the statue was off, and the head of the statue replaced the boy slub kid. So I I got what they were trying to do. I guess maybe when I was 11, maybe I didn't see everything all at the same time, so I'm kind of confused at that point when I'm 11. But yesterday when I reviewed the movie, I kind of got where they're coming from. I kind of understood what was going on.
Oh, well, and that's about all we can say about that, But
Yeah.
anyhow, let's go ahead and rate this bad
and
boy.
then, when Karras comes up, and Karras is actually on the cross, and he sees his buddy, and he's been apparently being tormented for the last 15 years. I know it's a movie, but you kind of put yourself in Kinderman's place, and you're like, okay, my best friend this is my best friend I'm looking at. You can kind of feel the tension there and the emotion. So I bought it. I liked the movie. I
Oh, yeah.
liked I liked it when I was 11 when I saw it. I liked it, last night when I'm 47 and saw it. I've probably seen the movie maybe 20 times, maybe something like that over my life. And I I like it. I enjoy it.
I tell you what I want to do.
Cool.
I want to watch it again. 'Cause I'll say it's basically the first time I ever watched it. It was like, I thought I'd seen this movie, but like I said, I'd watched bits and pieces of it, the major scenes and stuff like that. I'd like to watch it again, knowing what I know about it now. And to me, I'd have a better experience with it because, with the first half of the movie was boring to me. But then when the movie got going, it got going. And I'll put it that way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, when I saw it when I was 11, if I would have had myself now explaining to me, okay,
Hmm.
in this scene, this is who this is what's going on. I think that I would have understood it better when I was 11. But I mean, when you're 11, what do you
When you're
expect?
11,
You
you
go
shouldn't be
see
in a theater by yourself watching this movie, if we're being honest.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
When
a
I
good
was
point.
11, I was worried about drinking all my Coke before the movie's over and eating all my popcorn.
Mhm.
That's what I'm worried about.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and rate it, man. Who wants to go first? Bryson wants to go first. All right, man. Thanks for volunteering, buddy. Go for it.
Yeah,
All
Bryson,
right.
we
So,
appreciate you going first, man.
Yeah.
yeah. Overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Um, the cultural significance, I gave it a 6. The score of the movie, I gave it a 6. Um, the special effects, I gave it a 7. Uh, Symbolism, I gave it a 7. And overall enjoyment, I gave it a 7. So it equaled out to be a 7 out of 10.
That's
Nice.
a good
Nice.
score.
All right, Cade,
That's a good
you're up,
score.
buddy.
Yeah.
Cade.
Sorry, did you say my
I
name?
sure
for me?
did,
You
man.
say?
Well,
All
were
right.
you over and licking your wounds after you won at trivia
I
or lost at
couldn't.
trivia?
His audio cut out. And I thought he said Kate, or I thought he said Audrey. But
Yeah, I
I'll go ahead.
couldn't tell you.
I'll go ahead and take it away. So when I was watching this movie, the first half, I wasn't sure how much I was gonna like it. Even though like some of the scenes were starting to get to me, like the scene in the church, in the Catholic church when the old lady kills the priest. I could tell things were gonna pick up, and I ended up really liking this movie, especially with the ties to the first Exorcist film. I thought that they did that really well. The performance by what's his name? What's that guy's name?
Brad
Brad
Dourif.
Dourif. I mean, he sealed it for me as this movie. This movie seems to be extremely underrated, and I'm actually gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think
What?
that this movie is well worth watching. That the final act is really good, and some of the like the religious ties to it just always creeps me out. So I give it an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's a good score. That's an
Yeah.
excellent score.
So we got a 6 and an 8 so far, right?
7 and an 8.
7 and 8.
Oh, 7 and 8. All right, Daniel, you're up, buddy. Go for it.
Me? Okay. So, I really like the movie. I've always liked the movie. I'll go ahead and score it a solid 7. I had it at an 8, and I rescored it because of the music. I actually thought that the Exorcist theme was in the movie more, and now that I go back and think about it, I don't think that the Exorcist theme was quite there. So that brought the average down enough to be a 7. But cultural significance for it, that's pushing about average. It really didn't do a whole lot to push the genre forward, but it didn't do anything to hurt it. Symbolism, of course, you're going to have high scores there. The music, I wanted to hear the Exorcist theme. I think I only heard it once at the beginning.
Yeah, it plays it once.
The special effects, they were a little bit above average. I did think that the elongated neck scene was kind of goofy. But my overall enjoyment was super high because I really like it. So that ended up giving me a 7 overall.
Nice.
All
You got
right.
your score down.
2 7s and an 8. All right, Audrey, you're up.
I would have to say I'm going to do 7 out of 10 as well. I think everybody's already kind of covered everything. It probably would have rated higher if it was a little bit faster in the beginning. But I also think if I would go back and watch the first one right before this one, you would understand it a lot more, and maybe it'd be a little bit more intriguing because you're understanding the dynamic of everybody. It had some really good scary parts. I think they did a good job building up. I just wish it went a little bit faster at the beginning. So 7 out of 10 for me.
Totally agree.
Good deal.
All
That's
right,
good
Josh,
score.
you're up, buddy.
So I'm going to give it a 7 as well. And when I started the movie, I'm going to be honest, I hated it. It was so slow at first. And I was confused for a really long time of what was going on. But like she was saying, I need to go back and watch the first one so I can actually kind of tie these two movies together, and kind of get an idea of the dynamic of the characters and how they play together and all this the other things that I'm missing. But yeah, I'd say at least a 7. And I'm very comfortable giving it that score.
Sweet. All
That's
right.
good.
Well, you
Good deal.
guys are going to make me be the odd man out because I'm going to give it a 5.
Dang.
And
Ooh.
let me
Oh.
hey man, let me lay this out there for you guys.
Lay it on.
First
Bless.
off, I like the movie. I do. I like the movie, but I like half the movie. All right. So that means I can't be giving it no more than half the score. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
honestly, I'm being real with you guys.
That's
The
fair.
first half of this movie straight up sucked. I'm sitting there, I tried to watch it at work yesterday and I got too busy. And then I'm going to finish it at home. So I'm sitting, I'm like, man, this just stinks. I'm embarrassed to even watch this movie, So I'm making fun of it. We're in the group chat. I'm making fun of it. And then all of a sudden we get halfway through the movie and the interview scene happens. And I'm like, oh, snap, man, this is kicking up some dust here now, So from the interview scene on, I really dug the movie. It's great, man. But you can't have a movie that's just half good, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't
So
make.
you're telling me that Brad Dourif's monologues.
first off,
and he
sir,
had a couple of
if you would listen to my monologue right now, what I'm telling you is
what?
Mr. Dourif didn't come into the second half of the movie.
Okay, but
So,
it still
now, he is
makes
in
the whole movie.
Now he is in the 10 part of the movie, and the rest of the movie is a 0. So I got the.
Is that how you should normally score a movie, though?
Well, that's how I'm scoring it. I'm landing that plane at a 5.
He checked GP.
Man,
Yeah.
He's a hater.
He
He's
checked
a
bro,
hater.
that's hard.
Chat
That's
GPT.
hardcore.
Chat GPT would give it a -3 because it wouldn't even be the same movie we're talking about. It'd be like,
They say the priest was killed by the sniper rifle.
it would be like, Reagan came back and killed the priest in heaven or something.
Godzilla came in and stopped the demon.
No, that's part 2.
That'll be what it said.
Reagan's in part 2.
Yeah, the heretic.
I can give you the
I
average.
didn't like that movie at all. but
I've never
okay.
seen it and don't care if I ever do see it. But yeah, what's the?
It's
So
I didn't
even
like it.
with Corky's 5 out of 10, that gives us an average of 7 for the Remember That podcast,
Nice.
which I think is a very deserving score.
I think it's
I
about
deserve it.
1.2 high because I would say the movie's a solid 6 out of the.
Well, then why didn't you give it a 6?
Because I can't, man. I can't give. Listen. I need you to understand my thinking right now. I can't give this movie anything higher
Thinking
because
it's
it's only
flawed.
half of a good movie.
I don't
Your
understand.
thinking is flawed.
But if you
It's
take
not
what happens in the
flawed.
second half and then you
It's
apply
flawed.
Let me
it
tell you
makes the
something.
first half make more sense.
Let me tell you
Man,
something.
Man,
The first half of this
he talked
movie
about the carp.
is
He
werewolf
talked about
nipple
the carp that
certified.
his mama-in-law got.
I'll
No.
have to say, my favorite part of the movie is when he goes in there to talk to that old lady, and she's like, "Are you the radio repairman?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Check my radio." And he's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Yeah, you're not him." He goes, "What? Why?" "Because that's a telephone."
Yeah.
But
But
then-
see,
and
that
then she
stuff
acts like
freaks
he's
me out.
stupid.
Yeah.
And then she acts like he's stupid, and she was like, "That's okay." A lot of
Yeah.
people
So-
wouldn't have understood that either.
So this is not the first time Corky has given a low score and we all have like high scores. So in Civil
Well,
War, everyone
First off,
gave
Civil
it like
War
a
is the
7.
worst movie that God ever put on this earth.
That was a great
Everyone,
movie.
I know.
everyone gave it a 7 or an 8. Daniel gave it an 8. Corky gave it a 3.
Listen, I'll go back now. I'll
is
take
the
points from
lowest-
that movie because it sucked so bad.
That is
Well,
the lowest
I
Hold
score
love it.
that anybody from this group has ever
Let-
given a movie.
Let me say something
Ever.
about that movie, Civil War. This
Why
podcast,
are we even talking about that?
because I don't know, but since we're here, we're going to talk about this podcast. was rolling, steamrolling, however many downloads per episode. We do the movie Civil War. We ain't recovered yet off that movie.
Actually, he's not lying. Like
That
we were
movie
getting 500-600
Killed
episodes.
this show, and
we
that's
were,
why
we
that
were
movie
getting
is.
500 and 600 views per episode up until we did Civil War, and since then we've tanked. We really have. Like I guarantee you, like Friday the 13th Part 5 that we did about 4 weeks ago, got like less than 100 views. I guarantee you, if we did Friday the 13th Part 5 before Civil War, that would have been a 300 view. That would have been a 300 view episode.
Isn't it weird how that works though? Like which ones take off and which ones don't?
Yeah, it's all about
it
the
was like
algorithm.
Crazy.
that movie itself, and I don't have a problem with the movie. I like the movie. I don't think
I wouldn't piss on it if it was on fire.
It's not the kind of movie. It's not the kind of movie that we normally do on this show. But I didn't think that it was going to tank as much as it did, and it like infected the whole freaking show.
Wow.
After we aired that damn thing, I was like, my God, I believe that we're done. Like nobody's watching us.
I'm
no
gonna freaking
more.
erase it, man. Just take it off the freaking feed.
We've already pissed everybody off that
Yeah.
was watching it. Like Halloween 4 is our best ever, and we've got over 800 views on it. And shortly
what month did you do
thereafter, huh?
What month did you guys do that one? Civil War.
It was in October. Oh no!
Civil War?
was probably
That was November.
November, December
Yeah.
last year.
Okay.
And I mean, we were on fire. We
Yeah.
were doing great with views. We aired that damn thing, and we tanked after that. And we've had.
Yeah, we're
Just delete it.
Now I'm gonna say, you know, we've had a lot of B movies that we've done this year that we probably wouldn't have done last year, kind of consecutive. Okay, but still, like if we would have played them same movies before Civil War, they would have got more than the views that they got.
Yeah, it hurt us.
guarantee you.
That's no lie. It hurt us. It really did.
It did.
But
we lost people over it.
yeah. But anyhow, guys,
We're gonna gain some from this.
I hope so. All right. What's it get? A 7 out of 10?
7 out of 10 for the Remember That podcast for the Exorcist
All
3.
right, 7 out of 10. Hey guys, from me, Daniel, Cade, Bryson, Josh, and Audrey, appreciate everybody joining us, man. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
See you. Bye.
See you. Bye.
See you, bye.